All righty, let's see. Yep. Okay, so it looks like we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it may be. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, don't go nowhere. Hold on, hold on. Don't go nowhere. Hold on. All right, so let's try this again. Hold on. All righty, so let's do this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it may be when you are tuning into this broadcast. I am your international award winning author, filmmaker, and empowerment specialist, Tennille M. Jackson. And I am excited to be back out. It has been a minute. And so I just want to come back officially. Not again, this is a lot of new stuff that I will be talking about today. So I'm not going to try to be long, but there's a lot of different things I want to talk to you, or there are a lot of different things I want to talk to everybody about. And so as you guys come on, whether you are watching via um, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or even if you are listening on the Noon Vibe app, please feel free to say hello. I'll get my Instagram back going after a while, but I am actually going live off of a new platform. So we are going to see a new streaming platform. So we're going to see how this works. So hopefully, again, I know that I had said last week that I was going to be back in my Educating Powered podcast lineup starting this week. We're supposed to be all new at 2. Well, in true technological form, had a little bit of setbacks. And so I said, you know what, but I still want to persevere and push through. Again, I know because of the fact that I have. It's been a minute since I've been on consistently. So I know it's going to take a minute for everybody to, get back used to me being on. It's going to take me a minute to get back used to being on. At 2 o'clock, but I know that this is something that I can do because I did it for years. And so, in either case, I don't want to prolong the time because number one, like what the heart of what I'm going to talk about at the end will be consistency matters. And so I'll talk about that. That will be like my message for the day ultimately. But like I say, there are some things that I do need to discuss. So again, rules of protocol. Number one, be sure to like and share the video. Number two, no, I'm sorry. Number one should be say hello. So that way I know that you are tuning in and I can acknowledge you. Then number two is like and share the video. Tag someone that you believe would benefit from the broadcast. And then finally, for those of you who are watching via Facebook, please feel free to send some stars my way. So if you enjoy what it is that I'm saying, or you want to show your support, then please be sure to send some stars my way. And so again, there are a few a few announcements that I have, but then there is the heart of what I want to talk about, which is why consistency matters. And so, yeah, what y'all see me, those of you who are watching me from a visual platform, you see me looking down because I do have paper that I am reading from. Well, not necessarily that I'm reading from, but I have some bullet points because I want to make sure that I remember to make all of my announcements. So as y'all can see me, your girl is looking real plain today. She ain't got no makeup on. Thank God that I still got my braids in my hair because otherwise, with the energy that I didn't have from this past month, it's been one, right? So I'm glad that I pushed through. And so let's say this happy April. This is probably one of my favorite months, and I am a little bit biased because my birthday is this month. We are 11 days away, matter of fact. So I'm very happy about that. I am a person who I'm not ashamed of my age. I will be 44. I have earned all 44 of these years. Like I've done a lot in my life. And so I'm not ashamed of it. I celebrate it. I am embracing what this next chapter is going to look like. But yeah, so happy April to everybody. Just a quick debrief about the month of March. Whoo, child. March was a whole lot and then some, okay? March was a whole lot and then some. Hey Tanya. So with March, you guys know is Women's History Month. What was Women's History Month? And I took on the task of doing a weekly premiere of my docu-series, I Survived It All. And I'm out of Chicago. And so every week we were a different part of the city. So we did two premieres on the south side of the city, and then we did three premieres on the west side of the city. So you can really kind of say it was like a mini tour, right? And so every week we had a new series that we were showcasing, a new segment, I should say, that we were showcasing. There were new participants that were being highlighted, new issues that were being discussed. And it was good. It was a lot, but it was good. It gave me some insight as to things that I may want to do with this series in the future, whether or not I want to travel it beyond just, the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, other ways of actually pushing these issues and getting it out there, because you'll have a lot of people that'll say, well, I see stuff like this all the time, so why should yours be different? Or and I think that people will say that having not seen, not experienced what I brought to the table, um, the issues that we discussed were relatively heavy issues on the surface, right? Anytime you talk about death of a loved one, domestic violence, devastation, depression, discrimination, at the surface value, those things seem to be a little heavy. And it's like, man, if I'm having a good day, why do I want to come and bring myself down by listening to these things? Well, it was because of the spin that was put on it, and the fact that we left all of those who attended feeling empowered, and that's not just me saying that, but that was just the overall feedback, everyone who was there. And I was so delighted because we had certain people that literally traveled with us, like they saw what it was the first time, and they were there week after week after week. And so I just have a heart filled with gratitude right now for what it is and where it is that I am in this journey. And so there are some other things that I'm doing behind the scenes, and we'll see how those things transpire. And depending upon the news that I have with that, will determine the news that I bring to the forefront. So that is all things I Survived It All. Hello to all of you who are listening on the Noon Vibe app, to Ashley and Brian, Dr. Robert, the Right Warrior, and June. And I'm just asking that you guys stay tuned, because again, I'm just going to make some quick announcements, and then I'm going to go into the heart of what I'm talking about, which is consistency matters. And so that was the debrief on I Survived It All. So that's one of the reasons why you guys didn't really see or hear from me a lot throughout the month of March, because I was kind of doing what I could to remain in balance, so that every week, and these were live events, every week we had a live event. And matter of fact, I'll even say it like this: if there's someone who saw the event, you heard about the event, or even hearing now, and if it moves you, and if you would like to give a donation, you can feel free to do so by doing via Cash App. You can do $ I am EAE. That's I, the letter AMEAE. I am EAE. Or you can send a donation via Zelle to info at educated and empowered, the number 2.com. All of that is one word spelled out. And so those are things that you are also able to do if you would like to contribute. If you would actually like to see the docu-series, you can pick one or all of them. What I am doing is making the stream available for $15. So if you would like to see one of them, whether it's death of a loved one, domestic violence, devastation, depression, or discrimination, you can inbox me or send an email to me to let me know that you would like to watch it. You can put it in the comment section. Let me know that you would like to stream it. It's $15. You can send that $15 to me and attach your email address to it. And upon reception of both, then I will send that stream to you, and I mean the video to you, and so then you will be able to watch them. So that is something also that I'm also making available. So that's the I Survived It All. Now, for those of you who are artists, so whether you are an author, poet, singer, filmmaker, that's right, singer, filmmaker. No, I'm missing one. Singer, filmmaker, no, that's right. Singer, filmmaker, poet, author. So if you are one of those four, then this announcement goes to you. We are now officially, it is officially time for the APS indie, what is it? Indie Artist of the Year Awards. Y'all listen, I do this once a year, so sometimes I forget, even though it's my whole organization, and even though I've been doing this, this is the eighth annual, but I forget sometimes, okay? So this will be the third year. So it's the eighth APS Awards, but this is the third year that we are going to have the Indie Artist of the Year category. Okay. And so what does that mean? What happens is we open up nominations. Today is the first official day where nominations are open. And so this is only for independent artists. So whether you are an independent singer, an independent filmmaker, an independent, obviously a poet, a spoken word artist. But here is what is new this year. This year, I am even opening up a category for independent authors. Okay. Independent authors, listen up. So, in years past, when we first started the APS Awards, what happened was it was solely for independent authors, right? And so there would be a book awards contest where on sometime in January, nominations or submissions, I should say, submissions opened in January. You could send in your submissions, and then we would let you know who won the contest, and I would have a first and a second place winner. All right. Well, this year it's been a lot of stuff going on. And so I did not do a book awards contest this year. However, I still want my authors to know that I do want to yet honor you. I know that you're still working hard, especially those independent authors, meaning that either you did it yourself or you went through a small publishing press. I want to also be able to give you the opportunity to be honored. And so, whereas it may not be through the traditional means of what I normally do, which again is picking the number two winners from each category that we would have. We would read your book. Your book is how you became the merit of your book was how we would award you. And so, although I did not do that this year, I do still want to honor and acknowledge my independent authors. And so you can either nominate yourself or others can nominate you. This is for the Indie Author of the Year, right? And so as long as it's not, I don't do like street lit, meaning excessive profanity, vulgarity, sexual nudity, like if it's like sexually graphic, I don't do that. Okay. So if that's your book, and 9 times 10, if you got to ask, it's probably a no. But if you are an author who has written a book in the last 2 years, and your book is either fiction, nonfiction, inspirational, self-help, it's a myriad of categories, and you want to be nominated or nominate yourself, this is now your chance. And so for my authors, this is new, this is different, because the authors, again, when we did the Indie Artist of the Year, that was always for poets, for singers, and for filmmakers. But again, because of the fact that I did not open the book awards contest this year, I still want to find a way to honor my authors. So, all authors, I don't care where in the world you are, you don't have to submit a book. You just have to have your name submitted. And what happens is the entire month of April, we are taking nominations. The entire month of April is open for nominations. And then once we get to May, that's when voting begins. You only have to be nominated once to be able to go to the next round. And then with the voting in May, it's the most votes wins. Okay. So that's what we are doing. That's what it is. So this year, the nominations are officially open, and even authors can nominate themselves. So independent authors are now a category for the Indie Artist of the Year awards. Uh Hold on. I'm sorry. I hope wisdom. I hope you guys heard me. I don't know. But the bottom line is, because I don't know at what point it went mute, but the bottom line is independent authors are now able to nominate yourself for the Indie Author of the Year. And I will, if you follow me on social media platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, I will be making that announcement. I'll probably make a short video as well to give more information, because I'm sure a lot of people may not be checking this out, but I need everybody to know that nominations are officially open. Then the next thing I want to talk about, two more announcements, and then I'm going to go quickly into the meat of what we're talking about, the Empowerment Convention. So my company, Educated and Empowered, we are going to host our first annual empowerment convention. And this is kind of combining both worlds of artistry and self-care. Okay. So on that Friday night is going to be 2 days, May 17th and 18th. That Friday night is what we're calling Filmmaker Friday. We are going to host the winners of this past APS Awards. There were three filmmakers who were the finalists, and only one was the winner, right? But all three women will be honored on that night. We're going to watch their short films. We're going to have a Q&A session with them. And so that's going to be Filmmaker Friday. And then we're going to have Self-Care Saturday, where we are going to be doing all things that's going to talk about I don't want to say minister because that sounds like church, but that's going to pour into us becoming better. Okay. So that's what that self-care Saturday is going to be. And again, I want to say tomorrow, as of tomorrow, you'll be able to go to my website, get more information, and even register. But registration will officially open tomorrow. But I just want to let you guys know about that. And then the final announcement is the fact that I will be doing a virtual tour. I will be going on tour in the month of June. So every week, yeah, I think I'm glutton for punishment. I did it in March, but I'm doing it again in June. But the difference is that in June, it's only online. Okay. So I don't have to physically go set up and host and all of that. But in the month of June, every Saturday, I am doing what's called Tennille's Navigational Tour. Tennille's Navigational Tour. And what I'm going to do is there every week, because there are 5 weeks. So every week, there's a different audience that I am focused on, and the concept of it is that it's real. Hold on, because I just wait a minute, y'all. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. Wait a minute. I don't know if I can pull it up, but I tell you what, I will probably go into it a little bit more because it doesn't start until June 1st. So it's 2 months from today. Registration will be open by the end of the week. I already had the flyers and everything made, but basically the whole concept is getting you to discover whatever it is you've been called to do. So I have on the first on 1 week we're doing it's 5 paces. That's what it is. 5 paces, we are helping you to unbury the treasure that lies within. That is a tagline. It's all coming back to me now, y'all. So you got 5 paces. So the pace is PACES. So first week is going to be publisher's pathway, right? So we got all these different roads. So you got publisher's pathway. So this is for individuals who are looking to be publishers, who are looking on for information on how to publish your own book or start your own publishing company. That's what's going to happen. I'll also share info on some of the books that I have published in the past under my imprint, APS Publishing. On week 2 is going to be Authors Avenue. So on that week, I will share about books that I've written. I've written about 20 of them. So I'll give information on that, but I will also have an Ask the Author segment where you can come on and ask your specific questions. And then it'll be time where we're also going to talk about writing a book. So I probably said that in the wrong order. So I'm going to discuss my endeavors. I'm going to talk about how to write a book. And then there's going to be a Q&A segment where you can ask me whatever questions that you would like. Then week 3 is going to be Coach's Corner. And so we're going to be talking about all types of life empowerment things, self-help. That's going to be what's happening on that week. E is the Entrepreneurs Express. So we'll be talking about business matters. And then S is Speaker Street. So every week for 5 weeks, there will be something different for those of you who either and each week you have 2 sides of the coin. So for those of you who like to support me in that capacity and learn more about me specifically in that capacity, that's going to benefit you. But then if you want to do the thing that I'm talking about, I'm going to share information with how you can do it yourself. So that's going to be coming up for the month of June. And like I say, we'll be opening up registration for that very soon as well. So it's always a lot of stuff going on with me, y'all. If you know me, that's just my life. Now, in this final few minutes, I want to just really quickly talk about consistency and why consistency is important for many entrepreneurs. And you know what, I would say it's not even just entrepreneurs. I think this is a life thing, right? So whether you are entrepreneurial or not, whether you're a parent or not, whether you're a partner or not, I think that consistency is a characteristic that will help or hurt you across the board, right? For people who are very good with always showing up when they say they're going to show up, always doing what they say they're going to do, when they say they're going to do it. I think that your life works out a lot better for you. For people who struggle with either consistency or procrastination, then it seems like life is harder for you, right? And so I want to talk about why consistency matters. And I want to like give a quick tip on for people who might struggle with consistency, just a little small pointer that may be able to help you do a little bit better, right? And it might be seemingly simple, but if implemented, I really believe that it will help you get better. So the reason why being consistent matters is because people, even though I know we say we don't live to be people pleasers, but the fact of the matter is that no man is an island to himself. So, what does that mean? That means that we need people, and to an extent, we need people to need us, right? So, go with me. So, if you are an entrepreneur, regardless of whether or not you want to be a one person show in terms of a behind the scenes situation, the fact is that business, commerce, this means that you need somebody else to finance you. So at the very least, you need a customer, a client, a patron, a sponsor, like whatever it is, a donor, whatever word you want to use, you need somebody else and somebody else's money to keep you going, right? Because if it's all just about, well, I'm going to just use my own money to finance everything that I'm doing, and I'm never looking to make anything, then what you have is not necessarily a business, it's a charity or a foundation, right? You're a philanthropist. So it's not that anything is wrong with that, but that is not a business structure. So when people go into business, the whole concept is that they are looking to make money. So how do I make money? 99 times out of 100 is the fact that I got to get it from someone else. So unless again your entire business is focused on generating your revenue by grants, most of the time when we're talking about grants, that's for nonprofit organizations. Are there grants for for-profit organizations? Yes, it is. But at the end of the day, the point still is the fact that you need someone other than yourself to make these things happen. And so, because we need other people in order to help our business or our venture succeed, that means that people have to be able to depend on us to show up, right? So if you say your doors are open, you have a brick and mortar, and if you say your doors are open at 9 o'clock, it's not cool for it to be 10:30 and you still ain't there. It's not cool for it to be noon, you still ain't there, right? I remember when I had my bookstore, I had a physical bookstore, a couple different ones in Chicago. The first time I opened it up, it was inside of a mall. Now, the mall held you accountable so that if you were not there, the mall opened at whatever the time was. And if you were not there at that time, then you get there late if you want to, and you will have a ticket waiting for you that you have to pay in order to be able to open up your mall, your store the next day, right? And so when I had my own location where I didn't have to, be held accountable by someone that was over me per se, I still was penalized because you never know who was actually coming. If I said that I was supposed to be open at a particular time, and if myself or my employee was not there to open up the doors, then who knows who came by in that time that I wasn't there. You see what I'm saying? And so consistency matters because that's how you build rapport with people that you are trying to do business with. Even for those who are not entrepreneurs, how it's important that you are consistent. Because I remember, I'll just say it like this: there was someone that I knew, and at that time in her life, her mother was not, let's just say, was not what she needed to be. And at this point, she was maybe about 7 years old. And I remember her saying to me, she's like, because I wanted to do something for her. But then she told me, well, my mom is supposed to be doing blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just wait for your mom. And she said, no, we could probably do it because she always says something and she never does it. And so even our children, they look at our actions, right? So, like, it's important that you don't make all of these different promises that you don't keep, because then you're instilling the wrong values to your children. You're showing them that you are not dependable, right? And so it's like when you are trying to grow in your journey as a parent, as a partner, you want for the people that are in your life, or even just a family member, you want people that are in your life to know that your word means something. Back in the day, one of the, a cliche was, my word is my bond. And your word used to actually mean something. People did not just so frivolously say, I'll be there, you can count on me, just for the sake of. People gave thought before they said anything, before they made promises, before they put their word out there, because it actually meant something. That my word is good, my word is my bond. If I say it, I'm going to do it, right? And so when you are trying to build relationships, again, and this is either personally or professionally, consistency matters because people need to be able to trust that you are going to do what you say. People do better with people that they know that they can depend on. So consistency it really is intertwined with trust. So if you show up for people, then they know that they can believe in you. And so now you, again, when you look at the professional realm of it, if you say that you're going to drop something, you're going to launch something, you're going to release something, you're going to sell something, you're going to have something, you're going to do something, you're going to be somewhere, it is so important that you do it, because here's what happens. Many times, again, let's say if you have established relationships, if you have established relationships, then you get a little bit more leniency, because holistically, if you have been a good person and if you always showed up, then people kind of give you some type of flexibility, right? People kind of understand, okay, well, because Tennille is always here, so I know she coming. She might be about 10, 15 minutes late, but if she's always showing up, then I know she's going to show up. However, when you are trying to establish new relationships with people who have absolutely no history with you, so they don't have a track record to go against, all they know is your now. And so if you say you're going to do something like, i.e., I'm going to go live at 2, and then you don't get here until 2:22, then what happens is that it could have been somebody that was waiting for me to log on at 2, and because I wasn't there, they're like, oh, well, maybe she changed her mind. Now, maybe you get the grace and they say, okay, she says she's all new this week at 2. So they'll give you grace and they'll try again tomorrow, right? And again, even though I'm saying for me, take it for yourself that this is how, again, many times this is how people are. Many times people will give you the benefit of the doubt. Many times people will allow you an opportunity to prove yourself again. But when you are in business, a lot of times you already have competitors, you have other people that's trying to get your audience. And at the end of the day, people want what they want. And so many times, if you are a business owner, you are just a means to an end. But do understand you are not the only person that offers what it is that they're looking for. So, like, if you are convenient, if you're good at what you do, if you're consistent in what you give, then many times that's what brings people back. But if people can't find you, if you consistently are inconsistent, you don't show up, then it's only so much patience and so much leeway that people are going to be willing to give you. And so before they say, you know what, I'm finna go to somebody else. I'm finna find somebody else, And so that's why consistency matters. And so the one tip that I would give is don't over promise, right? Don't over promise. I know a lot of times it makes us feel good to tell everybody in our lives that, hey, I'll be here for you, and you, I'll do this today, tomorrow, and forevermore. Like, it sounds good. It makes us feel good because, again, if we are trying to build relationships, you can think and feel within yourself that, okay, I don't want to let people down. So everybody that asks me for something, I'm going to say yes to them. But here's the thing that happens. Many times when we make promises, we don't, and it's not a malicious thing. I think it's just a humanistic thing, which is we don't always consider everything that could possibly come up in life, right? So, like, in your mind or on the day that you told somebody that you would do X, right? Maybe you meant you would do X. And maybe at the time you told them that you would do X, you actually could. Because in that moment you were good, your energy level was good, your finance was good, your vehicle or whatever, is incorporated in that situation, all of that was good. But say if this is like a week away and maybe, the days leading up to it, maybe you fell ill, maybe something happened where you lost money, maybe, you're sick or you're tired or whatever the case may be. Now you don't feel like it and or you're not able to do it. And so it's one thing if it's one promise one time and that's it. But so many times what happens is this becomes a pattern. And so, like, it's so much better if instead of making promises that you cannot keep, that you don't promise and then just show up. Does that make sense? So if somebody say that they have a game, just say it's a I got a football game, basketball game, I don't know, whatever, soccer game, whatever it is, So if it's your child or if it's a friend and I got an event I want you to come to, like, don't promise that you will be there and then you don't show up, because now on top of being inconsistent, now you're a liar too, right? So inconsistency, like I told you, consistency is connected to trust. Inconsistency kind of can connect you with being a liar. So it would be best if you just say, I'll see what I can do. If somebody is asking you to do something, and again, this is both in a personal and a professional realm, see what you can do. Right. Number one. Number two, when I'm saying don't over promise, even to yourself, don't overpromise. So like a lot of times with entrepreneurs, and especially if you are a solopreneur, then it's like, okay, well, I want to take every single offer that comes my way. Every time the phone rings, I'm going to do this. You are setting yourself up for failure if consistency is an issue for you. If you are, because consistency and procrastination are not, or inconsistency and procrastination are not necessarily one and the same. However, if you struggle with being consistent, then there's a great chance that procrastination is also your friend, right? Because they might not be synonymous, but they in the same play box, okay? And so the point is, like, when you're trying to get something done, um make sure that you factor in, hey, I don't really like to do stuff on Mondays. So don't tell somebody you're gonna show up on Mondays when you know that Monday just ain't your day. If you know that Sunday is a hard day for you and you normally lay in the bed on Monday, then don't don't say I'll be here on Monday or I'll do this on Monday, because you already know it probably ain't gonna be the case, right? And so as entrepreneurs, you guys, we have the ability to set our own hours, but it's even a way to do that. You don't want to set your hours, but then after you done told somebody you're gonna do something, then kind of backpedal and say, I will, because I don't never do anything, I don't never do nothing on that day anyway. She better be glad I'm showing up. No, he don't have to be glad that you're showing up, because you gave your word that you would. You see what I'm saying? So make sure, and that is just the promise for today. I don't want to go too long and too deep, but just make sure that you are not over promising, because that can become an issue as well. So to help you be consistent, or at the very least to help you build your level of consistency, then make sure that you are not over promising. Make sure you're not telling everybody, because if you already know your struggle, if you already know that consistency is difficult for you, then so in essence, the solution or the remedy, if you will, to inconsistency, I mean, to consistency is, so it's not just as simple as saying, well, since you're inconsistent, be consistent, right? But because everybody can just say, hey, I know I ain't consistent, so let me just be consistent. But it's really like the how. And so you have to be able to self-assess. You have to know what your strengths and weaknesses are. You have to know if being inconsistent is your issue. And if it is, the solution or the remedy for inconsistency is accountability, right? So position yourself to be accountable to yourself. And unfortunately, this is probably a truth. A lot of times, especially if you're a giver, it might be easier for you to do for other people than it is to do for yourself. And so if that then be the case, then make sure that whoever it is that you are accountable to, that it means something to you to show up for that person, right? Because the reality is that we value people different in our lives. And so sometimes you be like, I don't care, they can just be mad. But then there are other people where it's like, man, I definitely don't want to disappoint them. So even if on my own it's Monday, it's dreary, it's raining, I ain't going nowhere. But if my child needs to go to the doctor, or if I done told my spouse I'm gonna do this, or if I done told my sibling I'm gonna do that, you see what I'm saying? That then many times will push you even when you wouldn't push yourself. So you need to find a way, so do not over deliver, and find a way to hold yourself accountable, because the more that you are being accountable, then the less likely that you will be inconsistent. So that is my spiel for today. For everybody who tuned in, thank you. And then for my people on Noon Vibe, to Monique and Jackie, Doobie, Danielle, the Right Warrior, Coach Meredith, Benjamin, Dr. Robert Joni, Brian, Ashley, everybody else. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, I am committing to getting back on my horse consistently. I want to be, my endeavor is to be bringing you an educated, empowered podcast Monday through Friday, where we are all new at 2. And so again, y'all don't give up on me. I'm telling you right now, I am working on timeliness. I'm consistent, but my time sucks sometimes. So that's a whole nother line for another day. So if I tell y'all too, within that 2 o'clock hour, I don't care if I only come on for 15 minutes, within the 2 o'clock hour, I endeavor to be able to deliver whatever content for you that I do have. And so again, if you listen to this content, this podcast, if you like what you heard, feel free, if you're on Facebook, to send some stars my way. Anywhere else, be sure to like and follow me. That's one of the things that you can do to support as well. I am at, my name is Tennille, as well as Educated and Empowered, across all forms of social media: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, X, Noon Vibe, and I think Clubhouse as well. And so in either case, that's how you guys can support me. Please stay connected. Again, I'll be making an official announcement about the actual registration date for my virtual tour that's coming up in June. And as of tomorrow, you guys will be able to register for the empowerment convention that's going to be on May 17th and 18th. And today, nominations are officially open for the 2024 APS Indie Artist of the Year Awards. So thank everybody so much for tuning in. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. So I want to say that that is it. Now I just have to figure out. Oh, there we go. All right, Kyle, I'm out.